Peter Gall was my father, and he worked at the Mr. Corporation for a long time. I think I was a child, and he always tried to help the community members to support their families. He had a vision of the sawmill, and he created it even though he had his health issues. His wife was there too, always supporting him, being by him, and they were together all the time, and that's my mother, Emily.
The main purpose of the project was to create employment, economic spin-off, but in this time around that we've opened since '96 is to have a finished product, a lumber that is certified and also to use for a construction purpose of building houses within the communities and also distributing to the open market as cree lumber. When we get to a full production, a full rundown of the mill, it will lead to 30 jobs. Our partnership with Shanshi Shibugumo and Cree Lumber throughout many years, ever since the existence of Shtuk, will focus a lot of distribution to the market for the lumber that we're producing from the mill, but also the important is the assistance from their expertise to train us how to run the mill properly and successfully.
This is the spark plug. Without this, we cannot make it. Today, this plant is new for technology-wise. We spend a lot of time with this to make it sufficient to our sawmill. They maximize the speed of the machine, less chips, less sawdust. We're expecting 7,800 cubic meters a month, but we can do more. The U saw itself, it's not big, it's not monster, it's a small. Everything is computerized. You touch a button. Before we have a manual, now we have automatic.
Source of pride that we have in the creation of the sawmill is the creation of jobs for the long term. These are not jobs that are just going to go away overnight. They're not boom or bust type of jobs. They're long-term jobs that will sustain us, whether it's in trucking, mechanics. These are on the side jobs of what can be created when you have a harvesting company such as Cree Lumber.
Having this project as a perfect economic development example to benefit the community in terms of the way we live, with our traditional values, and paying attention to our contemporary way of life that we now live and provide for our families. The cutting of trees is part of our way of life, and respecting and ensuring that there's some sort of sustainability and paying attention to how we can manage our forest and being part of the need and want of our world. We have to make sure that the cutting is controlled in a way where it's a socioeconomic responsibility.
It's all part of sustainability. We take only what we need to sustain ourselves. So with the modern day, we do need to create economic opportunities, economic prosperity. So it's part of that sustainability that is much needed for us as a community.
One of the important elements too is to provide jobs for the young people and long sustainable jobs that they will make a career out of and maybe possibly lead them into more professional engineering programs or technician programs or even just starting their own businesses themselves. So this is ultimately the community's company, and we're doing this work for them, and we want to respect that on their behalfs and for the future of our children.
Having the mill reopen, allowing people to be part of the solution in addressing the housing crisis by encouraging people to build their own homes so that we are not so heavily dependent on social housing.
I think this project provides the necessities that we can tackle the housing market within the Cree communities, provides the lumber that it needs to build houses and also to be sustainable and affordable for the Cree communities.
So working with men, it's not challenging, but it's also very interesting to see what they can teach me and offer also too, which broadens my level of understanding of different type of field of hands-on work.
La vision des non-autochtones était déjà en avant de nous autres. Nous autres, on savait pas ça. Fait qu'on a vu les industries s'amener chez nous. Fait que là, on voyait que commençait à boucher du bois, à utiliser notre bois, puis qu'est-ce qu'ils faisaient avec notre bois. C'est tout ce cheminement-là qu'on voulait savoir qu'est-ce qu'ils faisaient avec ce bois. Mais ça a ramené la main-d'œuvre. On a vu quelque chose de bien avec ça. On s'est dit, c'est une bonne opportunité pour qu'on fasse quelque chose nous autres aussi, notre propre territoire, qu'on puisse le faire, qu'est-ce qu'ils font. Fait que si eux autres le font, nous autres aussi, on est capable de le faire.
The family that we had at the sawmill was very strong. It brought a lot of energy to our community in terms of people having their own independence. We saw a lot of families, come out of almost close to poverty level. It brought a lot of strong ties to our community where we contributed it to our community, such as different events. What I remember the most is all the good stuff that we had at the sawmill. We became one big family.